Hello, I'm Scott Newberger from Life Charge Consulting, and I have here with me today Scott Porter. He's a successful businessman. He's the executive vice president of Bennett and Porter. He's also a family man, a father, and he is also a leader in our church. And he's going to talk to us a little bit today about his success in starting his own business. And, Scott, normally what we like to do is ask 3 questions. First question is, tell me a little bit about your success, your business, or anything about yourself that you like. Then the second question would be, how has it affected you? Third question is, how has it affected others?
Okay, sounds good enough. Yeah, like Scott mentioned, I am a small business owner, and I guess first off, I'll just kind of talk about how I came to own my own business.
Right.
But I've always wanted to have my own business. My father actually, growing up, he owned his own home building business, and so I kind of watched him, struggle with, trying to do the home building business. And it was a lot of hard work, and he also had a partner as well, which was actually his brother. So I kind of grew up under that mentality of just thinking, okay, someday I'm going to start my own business. I don't know what it'll be, but I'm going to do something. So, my dad wanted me to go to college and get a business degree. So I kind of went down that mode and still not knowing what I wanted to do. And I bumped into my partner, and he already had his agency up and established. So I ended up partnering with him, and we've just really grown the last 5 years.
That's great. Well, and this is actually after you finished your degree, correct?
Yeah, after I graduated. Yeah.
Part of your goal was to achieve that business degree, and that prepared you for your success later in life.
Which was kind of hard because I had some friends that just right after high school or whatever, they just same thing, they want to run their own business, and they just started right off the bat, and so it was kind of hard just trying to do the school thing for several years. But it's been a great help, just kind of having that time to just mature a little bit, find out exactly what I wanted to do, and see how other businesses develop and run. And as I look back, I think it's been a good thing, just being able to get the business degree and then take that time to find out what I wanted to do.
Well, that's a very important key in achieving goals is preparation. Getting the knowledge and education, information that you need so that you can be successful. Obviously, it's paid out for you very nicely.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's definitely not easy. It's been a lot of work. With any business, anytime you start your own business, it takes a lot of time and effort. It's really hard because at first you're wearing so many different hats. You're trying to do all the marketing, you're doing the accounting, and you're worried about sales, and for me, it's like I just want to be an agent. But when you own your own business and you want to do your own thing, now you have all these other aspects that you have to worry about. You're worried about the lease at the building. If you have employees, now you have payroll that you're worried about. So it's been nice having a partner to kind of help share some of those responsibilities. And, over time, we've been able to hire people that, have really helped us also to grow and develop. In the end, you can't do everything as a business owner. So
Sure.
I think one thing to credit, our success at our agency is we've been able to hire the right people at the right time to kind of take us to that next level and do a lot of the things that either A, we don't have time to do, or B, we're just not that good at.
Sure.
That really you hire people that specialize in that certain thing, and they're able to free you up so that I can spend time on the things that we're good at.
Well, sure. I think that's another principle of leadership, as far as leadership in business, but it can also be applicable to your work in the church. And even as a father, it's important to know and understand how to delegate to people. Because really, you can't do everything, and sometimes you're not as effective if you try to do everything at once. Yeah. So not only knowing that you need to delegate, but also being able to find the right people to do certain jobs for you can really help your business to grow and help you to be successful.
Yeah, and I think it's important that when you find that right person that is that fits what you need. I mean, you need to reward them for it. You need to let them know they're valuable.
Is it all about compensation, or do you think there's other than that? I mean, definitely compensation is a part of it.
Yeah, definitely they want to be compensated, but really, I mean, a lot of it's the work environment. They want to be in a place that enjoy coming to, that they see is growing, and that there's opportunity for them to advance down the road. But yeah, having the right staff, and for us having good agents, that's been a key to us growing, is hiring good agents.
Sure.
Um,
And it sounds like also what you're saying too is helping them to understand the mission of your company, the vision, helping them to buy into that, and really a lot of the corporate culture.
yeah, and helping them to realize, what the realistic goals and uh, what the realistic views are when you hire someone. We don't say, hey, your first year you're going to do this or that. Just tell them, it's going to be really hard. Here's what you're going to have to do. Here's the hours you're going to have to work, so that when they come in, they know it's going to be hard, because it's a tough business, and there's a lot of turnover.
You set the expectation for them.
So you got to set those expectations up front, and just make sure you follow up with them and make sure they're hitting those goals.
Right. Wow. Well, and imagine too, and this kind of plays into a little bit of some of the other questions that we generally ask. It's probably affected other people in a positive way. If you've hired employees, and not only from a standpoint of having them buy into the vision and the mission of the business, but just as you mentioned, it can help them to really develop as a person, and to believe that they can accomplish certain goals and achievements. And that's a really key part to any business. Is it's not just necessarily only the company line that you've got to buy into, but how is this business going to help me as an individual? How is it going to help me to reach my own personal goals? And really, if you can communicate that to every employee, how what you're doing at work is going to help them personally, that's when you get a large part of that buy-in.
Yeah. Well, and really, a lot of the people that come work for us come to work for us for the same reason that I went into business for myself, is because they want to go somewhere where really the potential is up to them for how hard they work and the amount of hours they put in. And it's great to see as the ones do that become successful, they're able to start, to take the time off they need to, and they're able to spend the time with their family, and if they have a involvement in the scouting program or involvement in their church, they're able to do those things. So, that's been one of the great benefits for me owning my own business, is that we're at the point now to where, I'm able to, spend time with my family.
Sure.
And be able to serve in the church and do a lot of other things that kind of help keep the balance there.
Right.
Sometimes it's harder when you're first starting, because you're just so focused on your business and getting it going. So it's nice to see our agents kind of go through that same phase that we went through as well.
And sure, there's a lot of times where any kind of a business or the job might be somewhat front-loaded, where you have to do a lot of work up front. But also, to your point, I think a lot of companies are realizing that what people do outside of work is important as well. And you can't just run that engine, 12, 16 hours a day and not have something break down. Companies are realizing that what people do and the fact that they have a fulfilling life outside of work really contributes to the productivity that employees have while they're at work.
Yeah. We have a couple of agents that actually, if we let them, they would just work all the time. And we really have to, some of them say, hey, you need to take some time off. You need to go, go on a vacation, or just do something different. And it'll be here when you get back. And I know for myself, it's hard to take a week off, or it's hard sometimes to take days off, because you're wondering what's going on back at the office, or what am I missing. But you do come back with a fresh perspective.
Sure.
And you all of a sudden see things differently. And, oh gosh, maybe we should try doing it this way. And you always have to be changing and developing, especially with today's markets. There's always a better way to do it, a quicker way to do it.
Right. Technology is a big factor in that.
Technology's tremendously changed the way we interact with our clients and service them. So, if you're not able to, change and take on the new technology, then, you start to get behind. It can hurt your business in the end.
Oh, sure can. Well, this is great. You've told me a lot about your success in creating your business, partnershiping, and having success in your line of work. And we also talked a little bit about how it affects some of those that you work with, your employees and those that you work with on a daily basis. Tell me a little bit more about how reaching this goal has affected you personally?
Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, I feel very lucky that, that I've been as successful as I have. A lot of people define success in different ways, but, I mean, for me going into it, I really thought, gosh, if I can just, have a good business, a profitable business that we're able to employ people, provide a good living for them, provide a opportunity for other agents to come and develop their own business. I mean, that was a success in and of itself. But on top of that, like I mentioned before, just being able to have freedom outside of the business too, to be able to do other things, spend time with my family. We have a lot of young kids that are involved in different things. And
Sure.
it's just great to be able to spend time with my family. And then, like I said, being able to serve in a church calling as well has just been really, really helpful. So, yeah, I mean, I feel very lucky, and a lot of times with a small business, a lot of it is timing. Different industries are better at different times,
Right.
and so sometimes it can be harder, and you do have to put in more time and more hours than maybe you normally would. But if you keep at it and keep working, then you will be successful. I think.
Yeah.
Part of it is just loving what you do. If you have a passion and you love what you do, you'll find a way to do it in a profitable way. You just keep working at it. So.
Well, I think there's some key takeaways there, and we talked a little bit earlier about preparation, how important that was. You've got the college degree, and maybe it's not necessarily always a college degree that somebody needs to be successful in their goal, but definitely some kind of preparation and learning about what they're trying to achieve. And you also talked about hard work, and that there's a lot of businesses out there that have been built on just the backs of people that really worked hard and had not given up even when times are difficult. And finally, you said you really got to have a passion for what you do.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything that will make up for having that passion, because especially when you have to put those long hours in at first, or maybe flexibility comes later, but when you have to put in those long hours at first, and when maybe things don't go as you plan, you got to have that passion to stick to it.
Yeah.
Because that's what really drives you through the end and helps you to be successful.
Yeah, and really patience too, because I know the way things are today, people want to see success now. I mean, they want to see all the things that their neighbor or whoever they see that has their business, they want to have that now, and they don't realize sometimes it takes time. It takes years sometimes to really develop and get there. So, like you said, if you have that passion and that love for what you do, it will see you through those times where you're just like, boy, this is taking forever.
The cultivation period.
Yeah.
And finally, at some point, you know that you're going to reap the fruits of your work, but sometimes it just takes a little while. And that determination will really get you there. Yeah. Well, great. Any other parting words before we end here? Any other advice?
Just find something that you love. It's really rewarding to wake up every day going to work thinking, I'm excited.
Right.
I mean, insurance is kind of a boring thing. People think, how in the world could you love doing that? But, it's the people that I work with are great. The environment's great. And so, that's where I spend a lot of my time is at work. And so it's fun it's great that I love what I do, because it makes it fun and we're able to be successful at the same time.
It's a lot more fulfilling. You've heard the phrase, I'm sure, that if you love what you do, then you'll never work again another day of your life.
It's true.
I'm glad to hear it, and I've been very impressed by Scott and his success. I've seen him grow, and I've seen him start his business, and just really appreciate the time that you took with us today, and we wish you continued success.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you.